Welcome back. I'm Brooke, maker behind Blue Bean Crochet, and it's Friday. I just got back about an hour ago from urgent care with my 2-year-old. But everyone's now asleep, so we're gonna try to get this done. And I'm going to show you what I got made this week. I did end up completing 3 of my whips, so that's good. Maybe 4, if you count it. Kind of. You'll see what I mean when I show you. And I'll actually show you that one first. So this is a whip that I completed. It is the Two-Headed Clown by Kindle Crochets. So it's kind of like 3, maybe 4 whips, because I had one leg done in the black and one in the white. I was going to make 2 different clowns, one in each. But I decided just to do the Two-Headed Clown and just split it. So I did not put hats on either of them. The pattern does have hats in the pattern, but I did not do that. Will I go back and do that? Maybe. Probably not. I felt like it was really busy, and I kind of like their little bald heads. So that's the back, and this is the front. So for this one, you make one leg, fasten off, make another leg, and then you work the body. And again, this pattern is great with telling you when to switch colors for the color change. And this was shifted a little bit on me, but not too bad. Like, it's pretty straight. The arms are crocheted and then you sew them on. The ruffles on the legs and the arms are done in the round, so they're not even surface crocheted. They're done in the round. And then after you get the body and the arms done, you make the heads, you make the hair pieces, and you sew those on. I actually just went back and surface crocheted these on just to kind of save some time. I think it turned out okay. The nose, they have you crochet a circle and then sew that on. I just surface crocheted a bobble stitch for the nose, and the face embroidery you do afterwards. And then for the neck ruffles, you just make the ruffle and then you do sew that on. And the buttons, I just went back and did bobble stitches. I like that it kind of gives it a little bit more dimension than just having it flat. But yeah, and this is the Premier Graffiti yarn. So there's this one, and I don't remember the names of them. I can go get them. Hold on. So the black side, which is this side right here, this is just called black. This was my first time using the graffiti yarn. And then this one is just called white. Simple enough. I didn't mind it. It is flatter, like you do. Like, I've seen a lot of other creators who have reviewed the yarn. It is like flat. And you do feel the string, like the thread going through your finger as you crochet. It didn't bother me any. It is very soft. It's very soft. But to pair it, I used Sweet Snuggles Light. And I don't know, it's for the blue is Sweet Snuggles Light. Like the teal. I do not know the color name because I don't know where the the tag is. I have no idea. I've had it forever. And then I used Parfait Chunky on this, the purple nose, and then this, of course, is the Sweet Snuggles Teal. This I actually got out of one of the stash goals from Premier. Do not recommend. It's pretty much unusable. but I was able to just do it. It's just very, I don't even know if you can tell. It's very rough. It is not fun to work with at all. And this green is Parfait Chunky, and that's Goblin. And then the pink right here is the Pixie Dust from Premiere, and then the blue is Pixie Dust as well. So this is a whip, the first whip that I completed since the last time we talked. And I have a bin down here. I'm just going to throw them in. And again, that was the Two-Headed Clown by Kindle Crochets. And I will link all of them in the description. The next whip that I completed was the raccoon, the Pint-sized Pals raccoon. And this is by Apple Tree Boutique on Etsy and Stacy Makes on YouTube. So I did this guy out of Parfait Chunky. He's pretty much completely out of Parfait Chunky. This is the fur yarn from Michaels. I don't have it close enough to be able to tell you what it's called. Yeah, and I used 20mm sinker eyes. I gave this one pink eyes. I don't know if it's really showing up, but they're like a pink glittery eye. I like the Pint-sized Pals. They're no-sew, unless you count the like surface crochet and the fur, and then bordering the nose. But you make the legs and the tail first. You start at his little nose and you crochet back. Do the ears are in the round. The arms, legs, tail all get in the round. And I made these really small because I want to put them in trash cans. I think I showed the first time I made one. I made it out of Posh, I believe. Where they fit in the little trash cans and their head just kind of sticks out. So this is the second whip I did. And again, this is the raccoon, the Pint-sized Pals raccoon by Stacy Makes, or on YouTube, and Apple Tree Boutique on Etsy. Yep. And then so the next whip I did, which I'm proud of myself for actually finishing, because after I started it, it ended up in my whip pile because I asked myself why I was torturing myself to do this. So I love the pattern. It's the yarn I chose to use that was the problem. So I did the Sitting Cat by Mom Stitch Eddie, but I used fur yarn. It was not super enjoyable to crochet. I like the pattern, and I've made and sold several of these. It's no-sew. You make the tail, and that gets crocheted in. You start with one ear, make the other ear, then you connect them, and then you work your way down. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to do it in fur yarn ever again. I gave this one 30mm blue eyes and gave him a little pink nose. Yeah, there's not too much to say other than like, yay, I actually did it. I don't use fur yarn very much other than for like accents or small parts of a plushie. But I did complete it. It came out like squattier. My stitch count was off several times. And with using the fur, the bobbles are not where they're said to be in the pattern because I was kind of winging it at that point. But he still came out cute. So this is the Sitting Cat by Mom Stitch Eddie. So those are all of the whips that I completed this week. And now to get into what else I made, instead of finishing the other 13 whips that I still have. I did some of the Pokemon for my Comic-Con coming up. I did Ditto. And this is a pattern by Just Peachy Crochet. And he's no-sew. All the little bumps are crocheted and then worked together. Then you just work your way up. These little bumps is you know, split the head and make one, fasten off to make the other one. And you border you don't border you put the eyes in and then border the mouth as well. But yeah, this was super quick. I was making a bigger Ditto for a while, but it just took so long that when I saw this one, I started making these. And I've sold a couple of them since I started making them in the spring. But I also made a pink one. And I know my son told me there's not a pink Ditto. But when I Googled it, there might be a pink Ditto, or it's debated if there's a pink Ditto. I don't know. The pink was cute. I made the Ditto in pink. And I also made one in blue because I know blue is the shiny version of Ditto. So I have these three done, and I used Premier Brights for this one was Brights, and this one was Brights. So this was Bubblegum, and this one was, hold on, I can check, is Dewdrop from Premier Basics. It's one of the Mama Made Minis colors. So yep, 3 Dittos by Just Peachy Crochet. I thought they were asleep. So the next thing I did was I worked on some more Pokemon. I did the different evolutions. Alright, so I got that one back to bed. Where were we? The other Pokemon. Alright, so these are by SC Handmade. I have made them before, but when I made them the first time, I made them out of Posh yarn. And this time I went ahead and made them out of the Premier Basic Chenille. So they turned out a lot bigger. So I made this one. This is Umbry, the Cuddly Tail Monster. And this is by SC Handmade. I really just think these patterns are just the cutest little, they're like little baby, they're so cute. So I used 30mm eyes on this one. On these, everything's sewn on. Is you crochet and sew it onto a ring on the head, but everything gets sewn together. So the head to the body, the arms to the body, the feet to the body, the tail to the body, and the ears as well. So it's a pretty high sew pattern, but I think it's definitely worth it, just how adorable it is. So this is Umbry, the Cuddly Tail Monster. Next one I did, this is Vivi, the Cuddly Tail Monster. And I used caramel for this one. The other one I just used black basics, but this is the color caramel. And then I used 30mm eyes again. And the little tail and neck fuzz is Baby Bear. And so it's the same thing, high sew, so the ears, the head, the arms, the legs. But I do have, because I did make this exact one out of Posh. I just wanted to show you the size difference. So there is quite a big size difference. After making 3, I think I made 3 in this size out of Posh, I was like, they're way too much work for what I feel comfortable charging for something this small. So I tried it out of Brights, and I like this size better. It's not too big, but I feel like I can charge more of my effort in this size than I can in this size. So yeah, this is Vivi, the Cuddly Tail Monster. I did 2 more of the Cuddly Tail Monsters. This is Jolty, the Cuddly Tail Monster. And so again, this one we're making the head, the body, the arms, the legs, the tail, the ears, and the neck frill. And it all gets sewn on, so the head to the body, then the frill, arms, legs, and then the little, I think they called it a thunderstone in the pattern. I'm not exactly sure, but I still think it's cute. I gave this one purple 30mm eyes. So yeah, this is Jolty, the Cuddly Tail Monster. Does anyone else have children that just refuse to sleep? Or is that just me? Alright, so the last of the Cuddly Tail Monsters that I did is Leafy. And I think this one might be my favorite. So I gave this one 30mm eyes as well. And it's the same thing. The head, everything's sewn on. This one has a little curly Q in the front. I did try like 6 times, like I'm not exaggerating, to get this head to go straight, and it kept going a little, like it's a little cockeyed. I don't know, it's kind of cute. I think it's okay. Kind of just looks like its head's just tilting. It's curious. So yeah, I did do a little embroidery on the ears on this one. Yep, this one did have some color changes on the arm, but not much, not bad. Yeah, the tail was a little different than the other ones that I did, just because this one is just flat, like it's worked in rows. So you do have like your starting tail, the tails when you color change to this one. And personally, I just left them kind of long, and I used the tail from the green to secure the green down at the bottom a little bit better. And then I used, of course, the end tail and the tail from when I color changed, and used that to secure this part. The starting tail, I started with the long tail because I knew I had to put the arms onto the tail. And then I weaved it in, the ends down to the middle here, like between like where the arms would be. And then I used that tail to tack the arms to the tail. So yeah, this was my last Cuddly Tail Monster that I got done. The next thing I did, so last week when I showed the stitch splitter, I mentioned I wanted to see if I could mod it a little bit more than it already be in a Frankenstein pattern into Angel. And I tried. I am not in love with the way this turned out, but I did try. And so it turned out like this. So she has her little antennas here, and her little color changes on the back. So yeah, this little one. So I used, to make my Frankenstein pattern, I used the body of the Mini Dippy Dino pattern from Snugglebeans Crochet. And I follow it. I do add an extra little bobble on the feet and on the arms just so it has 4 toes. But other than that, everything's pretty much the same. I do freehand a little tail to match the stitch count in Shannon's pattern, so it all lines up correctly in the round. The head without the antennas is from Finnick Toys in their stitch. It's a pattern pack with Lilo and Stitch. And again, I'll link them below. And then the antennas, I just freehanded it. I did like a magic ring of 5 and then just did 5 all the way up until I thought they were long enough. And I just color changed down at the bottom with the lighter pink. So yeah, this is my mini angel. I just feel like the head just, it looks, I don't know. I'm not in love with it, but I'm sure someone might fall in love with it. And if not, I have been donating plushies to my church's fall festival for prizes for the kids. We have like a bunch of carnival games. The kids can win tickets, and I donate plushies for that so they can redeem their tickets. And if she doesn't sell, I'm sure someone would love to win her at the fall festival this fall. So that wraps up everything I completed this week. And going into next week, my goal, I was talking to my husband, I was like, I want to try to get 100 minis done. Is that really possible? Absolutely not. But, you know, we all have goals. Might be a little ambitious, but I want to try to at least get all my mystery bags done and work on some swings. Because, and once they're done, and I can be like, yay, check it off my list. So I will report back next week, and we'll see if I actually meet my goal of 100 plushies. We'll see. I have faith in myself. I might be able to do it. I've never made that many plushies in a week, though. Well, you never know unless you try, right? I will see you all next week. This little child in her bed. Again. Y'all, it's been a night. I will talk to you next week. Bye.